Hello, Steve White, Trekboy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, there's some new photos from Section 31. It's like, yeah, I'll look, and I wish I hadn't. I mean, there's some questionable fashion for Michelle Yeoh, and there's some just basic, generic sci-fi, dark, smoky Tron lighting shots. The actress who's playing the young Giorgio looks nothing like Michelle Yeoh, so the casting has not been entirely successful. We see one picture of the ridiculous Comaloid, who for some reason looks like a heavier male version of Aman, which makes no sense because they're a shapeshifter, so okay. Because that's how stupid they are. They think, well, it has... I'm not even... I don't need to explain to anyone here who's watching this, because you're intelligent enough to know how stupid that is. But the thing that got me the most, aside from the Delton, the actress trying to look sexy, I mean, my God, Persis Kambata? I can't remember how to say her name. She was stunning. She was beautiful. This girl, these photos are not flattering, and it's just a sort of lame, stereotypical thing. I don't know what they're trying to do. But the worst is Robert Kaczynski as Zeph. Oh my God, he's standing there in his big, chunky, fat mech suit, which is just lame. I mean, with the technology that Starfleet has, why they create a mech suit that looks like something the Borg would have thrown out in 1987. It's embarrassing at this point. When does it end? I mean, my God, to think, imagine what it would have been like if they just made a Star Trek film. Just a low-budget Star Trek film, just doing some story, some real Star Trek story with actual Star Trek characters in a period that perhaps we haven't seen before or hasn't been as thoroughly explored, like the lost years between Star Trek 6 or Star Trek 7 and the Next Generation. Something like that would have been amazing. But instead we get a Section 31 abomination, which is basically just trying to be something between Battlestar Galactica, Guardians of the Galaxy, Tron, just any other science fiction franchise other than Star Trek, and taking all the elements from those they think will appeal to the general audience to try and make this appeal to all the people who don't like Star Trek because they don't like Star Trek, and they don't... It's just so frustrating. Just imagine if they spent that money on an actual Star Trek show. Imagine what it'd be like to be able to see pictures of new scenes from a Star Trek film. I haven't seen anything like that since, like Enterprise being launched and Nemesis coming out. It was so exciting, and admittedly the first couple of images from Discovery was kind of exciting because we thought it was going to be a Star Trek series, and even when it went really badly, they explained, oh no, that was just a sort of early version of the Discovery. We're going to do a new one. And oh no, the Klingons, that's just like a little subsect of the Klingon race that has been isolated for thousands of years, and that's why it looks like that. And they tried to explain it all away, and we gave them the benefit of the doubt, and then we saw the show, and that, yeah. So it's depressing, it's embarrassing, and I'm just like, God, when does it end? And I had a weird little exchange with what's her name, Humberly or something, whatever her name is, the one who plays the Delton, Humberly, yeah. I just she was posing in some city where there was a billboard for Section 31, and I said, I hope this is not your big break, because the fans hate this show. It's not a Star Trek film, and she's like, gave some lame response like, oh, it's not going to please everyone, try being positive. And I'm like, wow, she does not get it. And I was like, look, this is just bad. If maybe they'd done like a film on Giorgio, Captain Giorgio, and it was actually a Star Trek science fiction action adventure story, instead of this dark dystopian anti-Star Trek thing that Section 31 is. But then, people are saying it actually fails at that. It's actually light and fluffy and trying to be some sort of Marvel-style Guardians of the Galaxy tale with Section 31. So they've failed on every level. Sort of Star Trek film. It's not a dark and gritty, realistic science fiction film. It's not. It's just And one look at Zeph, I'm just like, oh, this is just embarrassing. I don't want people to look at this and think this is what Star Trek is. And then when I say I'm a Star Trek fan, they go, oh, you watch that? That's what you think is good? That's what your taste is? Yeah. Just let it end. Please let it end.